So, Democratic lawmakers don't like the American people. That and more. But before that, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. So, Democratic lawmakers have shut down the government, and it has continued longer than it ever needed to. Now, millions of Americans are facing the fact that their SNAP benefits will not be renewed come November 1st, meaning that they're going to have to depend on other sources to be able to feed their families. Democratic lawmakers have shut the government down because, as they've said in interviews, it is their only leverage to continue power. The power that they seek is to get health care for all, they say. Health care for all includes all illegal immigrants. The illegal immigrants need the health care because the Democrats want to ensure that the illegals will vote for them when it comes time for re-election. Voting for them when it comes time for re-election means also that the health care subsidies that were enacted by Obama to keep healthcare affordable, even though healthcare has been going drastically out of control ever since that was started, means that money goes to the healthcare industries at the tune of $40 billion a year through those subsidies, and then those subsidies are then used to fund the DNC, the Democrats. So in order to stay in power, they need to gather new voters who will vote for them, hence the free healthcare. Once those new voters vote for them, they can then continue to funnel money into other groups. Those groups will then take some of that money, funnel it back to the Democrats to keep them in power, to keep their pockets fat. That is how some of these lawmakers have started off with careers with nothing more than a net worth of $10,000 or less. But yet, after 30 years in political service, are now sitting on over hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not because they did a good job at taking care of the people that elected them to be in power. It's because they did a good job of putting themselves first. Now, senators like John Fetterman and a few other Democrats are siding with country over party. That is a truly blessed thing. But unfortunately, people that decide to settle with country over party don't last long because they will be attacked by their own political base. They will be ostracized and outcast. It is not fair. It is not right when somebody actually decides to put the people that voted them into power over the politics of the other people around them. But that is the political game that we play. And this is why politicians need to be changed, and they need to be changed often, because they settle in, they get too comfortable, and they forget who actually they work for. They work for we, the people, and they need to be reminded of that. On Charlie Kirk's birthday, the president awarded Charlie Kirk, posthumously of course, with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. His wife Erica was there to accept, and she gave a moving speech as she accepted this honor for her late husband. She challenged everybody to continue Charlie's mission, to continue to speak up when speaking up is hard, to continue using your voice when nobody wants to listen, to continue to challenge the status quo, to keep the conversations going. The movement that Charlie Kirk started was a movement of speech, of being able to talk to the people on the other side of the aisle that don't want to hear what you have to say, that don't want to sit down and just discuss the basic things that need to be discussed. But at one time in this country, you could talk politics with people. And you could debate it for hours on end. And at the end of it, you didn't have hate in your heart for the other person. You had a bit of an understanding of where they came from and why. That understanding didn't always lead you to agree with them, but it led you to realize who they were and where they came from and why they believed what they did. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to follow a religion. But you don't have to have all the hate in your heart for somebody who just thinks differently than you do. You can agree to disagree on things, but you need to be able to sit down and have a conversation with them to find out where they came from and why they think the way they do. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to reach out and change some beliefs that they have. Maybe they might be able to reach out and change some beliefs that you have. Everybody's environment has shaped their ideas and their beliefs. Nobody's is right 100% of the time. Nobody's is wrong 100% of the time. But once you close your mind and stop allowing the conversations to happen, you are wrong. Once you allow hate in your heart to outweigh the fact that you're willing to just have a discussion with somebody else, you're wrong. And when you let the violent rhetoric that is going on in this country determine how much hate you have for somebody else because they're using words like Nazi and fascist and racist and homophobe and xenophobe, you're wrong. Political violence on either side of the aisle is wrong. Violence against anybody is wrong no matter how you look at it. The only time violence should be used is when it's in self-defense or the defense of somebody else. It should never be used as a weapon or a tactic to silence somebody because they think differently than you do, because they believe something differently than you do. That is 100% wrong, and we the people will not tolerate it anymore. We are willing to continue the mission Charlie Kirk has started and use our voices to right the wrongs in this country to get it back to a better place. All we ask is that you sit and have a discussion. Leave your feelings at the door, because this will only be about facts. Be safe out there, guys. Have a great day.